we're still here in Ways and Means, and it's still April 29th, and we are picking up H 504 and act relating to approval of amendments to the charter of the city of Rutland. And Tucker is here to tell us everything about it. Tucker, tell us everything. And quickly though.
I don't know if I can make my jaw work fast enough
I'm
to
just-
think with this, but
I just mean that you don't actually tell us everything.
good afternoon, Tucker Anderson, Legislative Council. You have in front of you the amendments to the charter of the city of Rutland, H 504. I will skip to the pertinent components here. Is amendments to section 8.5, which specifies certain taxes on the grand list within the city. Most of what you're going to see is just some technical cleanup that I did to make sure that the way that the dollar or the grand list tax is expressed is correct. There are two increases to taxes. So first in subdivision 5, if you're looking at page 3, it's on line 5. Taxes required for the replacement for fire equipment. It's being raised from 0.0175 to 0.0225 on the dollar of the list.
Why does Rutland get to do this?
So someone asked me the other day if this is special authority. And my response was conceptually no. And the reason for that is that if they had just proposed as part of the budget for the city to purchase new fire equipment and the voters approved it, they would set the tax rate in order to pay for the purchase of that fire equipment. What they are doing is shortcutting that process of proposing a budget that includes all of these things, putting it to the voters and then setting the tax to meet the budget.
Oh,
By just having in their charter, this is how much the tax will be each year to support this specific purpose. And there's even a clause at the end that goes back to the general law saying that, this is the floor. But the legal voters of the city in a meeting warned for that purpose can authorize a higher sum, which is what they would do if there was an unexpected budget need anyway.
why do other charters do this?
I don't.
Not that you have all of them memorized, but have you seen
But
one recently?
definitely not at the rate that Rutland has, because I have a distinct memory of, I would say 6 years ago, Representative Fagan coming in on one of these, and it was the first time that they had this increase in subdivision 5 for the
Okay.
replacement for fire equipment. I will note that at some point along the line, I have to correct one of these subdivisions because
So
of,
sometimes they change their charter to change the base, but they can always change the extra. We
yes,
could even call it their supplemental spending if we wanted to. Anytime. Like through the normal budget process that every other community in the state does.
Yep.
Fascinating. Okay.
So they're just putting in 2 cents every year, whether they need fire equipment or not. It's just part of the base.
yes.
That's thinking fund, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Onwards.
Okay, subdivision 10, same concept. This is for police equipment, and this is going to be a new base tax rate here. And it's going to be 0.018 on the dollar of the grand list, unless a larger sum has been authorized. Like I said, at some point during the legislative process, there will need to be 2 corrections. The first is that there's this extra 0 at the end, highlighted it there. That's something that I can correct over the summer during stat rev.
The what?
The extra 0 at the end.
Stat rev.
Oh, statutory revision.
Thank you.
It is authority that it's a duty that has been placed on legislative council by statute to revise the green books and the codified version of all the statutes on an annual basis. And in this case, this is a manifest error that we can correct by just eliminating the superfluous 0.
Thank you.
The other correction is something that there will have to be an amendment at some point, and that's that I missed that they have this new tax for police equipment, but they already had in subdivision 7 the authority to use that tax in subdivision 7 for police equipment. So the mayor flagged this for me and said that this should be struck.
And they changed 0.012 just to put the 0 before the point.
I did that.
You did that.
Because that's the way the drafting manual says to express.
Cool. Okay, well, if you have to make that amendment, feel free to make the other one too while you're in there. And then whoever gets to report this can talk about those zeros. Yeah, it would really be a short delight for the whole body. Okay.
It may concern. That's all as far as the Ways and Means adjacent material in the charter.
Is there anything else in the charter that we should know about?
They are getting rid of their statutory requirement for going to bid based on a fixed dollar amount in their charter and instead tying the bidding requirement to their purchasing policy. And their bidding requirement threshold was significantly lower than pretty much every other municipality in the state. And there is a change to the Board of Commissioners for the Redevelopment Association as well. And this charter bill actually has 2 different votes in it. One approved by the voters in November. That was the redevelopment authority changes. And then the tax rates and purchasing provisions were town meeting day amendments.
Do you happen to, I'm sorry, we don't have a reporter of the bill here. Do you happen to know what the vote was in Rutland?
I don't know it off the top of my head,
Okay.
but I do have a SharePoint where I put all of the certified materials related to the charters.
Okay.
So I actually just give the committee access to that and you can take a look at the charter packet.
Thanks.
So on section 10 here, for the replacing police equipment. And then it says, except if a larger sum has been authorized by legal voters of the city of Warren for that purpose. Is that language in all of these subsections or just this one?
It's in all of them.
Oh.
Each of the subdivisions has that.
Yeah.
Catch-all where if they want to authorize a higher amount, they can at a city meeting.
Generally, I know that tax rates are based on $100 of evaluated properties, and is this more of a common thing for Rutland or across the state, or it's per dollar? Which I just not, I mean, if people read it, they're gonna understand it, but again, when we talk about the tax rate, it's based on $100. Yeah.
Let me check in on that and let me talk to Kirby too about what might be happening here.
So we have some options. We could vote knowing that Kirby is gonna make, Tucker is gonna make those 2 somewhat housekeeping amendments. We could wait and vote when Tucker brings those amendments, which might be helpful because we might want to change it to the per 100 construct. And so I've just sort of talked myself towards, let's wait.
That's what I thought you just.
Great, okay, cool. Really transparent lawmaking we have here. Okay. Anyone have anything for Tucker before he goes off and then we reconvene? Tucker, do you feel like you could do that today?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's all find ourselves back here together at 3:15? No.
I can't come back today, but I can
Great.
draft the amendment today.
Okay, great. Okay. So we are done for the day. Tucker will send us the amendment and we will vote on it at some point tomorrow. Do folks need Tucker back here to tell us about the amendment when he comes back, when the amendment's done?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay,
I mean, I love Tucker.
I really like Tucker too. Okay.
I prefer Tucker not.
Tucker, what time do you think you could finish it by today and maybe we could vote on it without you later today? Actually, you know what? There's no rush. We'll just do it tomorrow. Thank you. I'll see everyone tomorrow at 9.